Hey peeps! So today's video is going to be just a little bit different. Today we're going to share with you one of my Zoom classes. So y'all are aware that I do VIP Zoom, I guess, consultations, coaching calls, one-on-one from my website, but I also do coaching classes. The coaching class is a little different. The coaching class is where a group all pays a certain fee and you all take the class together via Zoom. The one-on-one coaching call also can happen Zoom if you want, or it can be just a phone call, but it's just one-on-one. It's you and me privately for that 30 minutes. No one else hears our conversations. It's just me and you. The Zoom class is a little different. The Zoom class is all about health, wealth, and relationships. Whereas the one-on-one coaching call, it can be whatever you want it to be. It could be about how do I start a business? How do I become successful? Maybe you're having relationship problems. I don't know. It can be anything you want. But today I want to share with you one of our recent Zoom classes. I think I had 15 participants that day. I like to keep the classes rather small and tight because I like to be able to interact with everyone and I want everyone to have a chance to ask questions. And so today we're giving you a little insight of what a Zoom class is like with me on health, wealth, and relationships. So I hope you enjoy. So guys, everybody was wanting me to be the mentor. And you know, I do private coaching calls that are more expensive on my website, and a lot of people can't afford that. So I decided, because I can't mentor everybody, there's only so many hours in a day, I've decided I'm going to start offering these Zoom classes so that I can cover all kinds of different topics, whether it be on wealth, your health, relationships, you name it. We're gonna cover everything. So today we're gonna talk a little bit about wealth. And so wealth, it's like, what does wealthy mean to you? And I bet each and every one of you has a different answer for me, because wealth does not mean the same thing to everybody. Like for some people, being wealthy might mean just being out of debt. I mean, they might say, my God, I'm finally out of debt, I'm wealthy, woohoo, you know? Or to some people, it might be just living comfortably and not having to worry about their next paycheck. Some, it might be having a nice savings account. And through this pandemic, a lot of people found out what it means to have a savings account. You know, when this pandemic hit, how many people actually had 2 months worth of savings to live on when the pandemic hit? I could ask each and every one of you that question, right? How many of you are unemployed from the pandemic? None of you?
What was that?
I said, how many of you are unemployed from the pandemic?
Oh,
I am.
I was unemployed before.
Okay. But, being able to travel around the world, having a six-figure income, so, or being a millionaire. So being wealthy means something different to everybody. You know, some people, if they can just take care of their family, they feel like they're wealthy. Some people don't feel like they're wealthy until they're a millionaire. Some people feel wealthy once they start accumulating a six-figure income. So wealth is something different to everyone. I know there was many points in my life where I felt like I was drowning underwater. Like I literally felt like I was underwater, and every time I felt like I was about to surface and get ahead of myself and my bills, it felt like somebody put their foot on top of my head and shoved me back down under the water. And it was like, I can't catch a break. Like, what the hell is it gonna take? And, from my growing up, I didn't grow up rich. I actually grew up very poor, on a ranch. I wore hand-me-downs my whole life. I didn't know what money was. And I knew, and my parents didn't teach us about money. My parents knew nothing about money. My parents, if they got $1 in their hand, we never had a savings account growing up. Like, my parents knew nothing about money. So when I knew growing up that if I wanted something, I was going to have to pay for it myself. And so I knew when I wanted my car, I was going to have to pay for my car. And so I knew the minute I saved $500. Now you have to remember, guys, this was back in 1977. But I knew that if I saved $500, I could buy myself a car when I was 16 for $500. And I did. But I learned right away that saving money was going to be how I accumulated what I wanted in life. And whether that was my car or my first luxury handbag or my first house or whatever, it was all about savings. And so I learned very early in age that paying myself was the number one thing. So if I brought home $100 paycheck, I knew that first $10 had to come to me. You know, and some people go, well, I can't save money. I don't make enough to save money. If you can go to church and tithe $5 to the church, you can also give yourself $5. And eventually that $5 adds up. And pretty soon you've got $100 saved or $200 saved or $500 saved. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good.
So it's like, it doesn't matter how little you make, you can always set aside $5. Because we can all go to McDonald's and eat on $5, right?
Yes.
Not that we want to.
Do what?
Not that we want to.
No. But I'm just saying, if we can all pull through a drive-through at McDonald's, even when we don't make very much money, and we can spend $5 at McDonald's, we can spend $5 to tuck it away so that we can start saving for something that we want, right?
I get it. A percentage of what you make, you want to save it.
Right. And that doesn't, you know, that doesn't mean that you have to take half your paycheck. It just means taking small portions of it. It just means paying yourself first. So even if you come home with a $100 paycheck, at least take $5 or $10 of that and pay yourself. Right?
Right.
Ding dong.
Like I said, we can spend $5 at McDonald's and not think twice, but yet we can't think that we can take $5 and pay ourselves. And in a month's time or 2 months' time, you wouldn't believe how much money you've already set aside. And you're like, wow, how come I haven't been able to do this in the past? And then also, I don't know how many of you just worked one job.
I do.
Okay. So I've never been that person that's just worked one job. I've always been that person that's worked 2 jobs or 4 jobs or whatever it took. So if I ever felt that I wasn't making enough money, I would go find a second job so that I could make more money. So let's take right after my divorce. I was broke. I had no money. I had 2 kids. I had my car, a microwave, a TV, and all of our clothes. That's all I had. And my first house, my landlord actually had to throw 2 little mattresses on the floor for us to even have anything to sleep in. Okay? I had no money. None. And I had to figure out how to take care of 2 kids all on my own with no college education. So I started selling cars. Well, that wasn't making me enough money. So besides selling cars, I would go teach aerobics also before work and after work. Well, that still wasn't making me enough money. So then I got a cocktail waitressing job. So 2 nights a week, I would cocktail waitress also. So my whole thing is I have never not wondered how I'm going to make money, because where there's a will, there's a way. So I've never thought, oh, I'm just going to get one job, and if I can't make enough money at it, I guess I'll just be broke the rest of my life. That's not my mentality. My mentality was, if I want to get ahead, I'm going to need to work more than one job. If that one job's not making me enough money. Does that make sense?
Perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Yes.
And I don't know. I mean, like, I've ran across a lot of people, they don't want to work more than one job. And so I'm like, well, if you're not going to work more than one job, then you're not going to make more than what you're making in that job.
Definitely.
Or you can go get a different job, or you can get a second job. And you know what? When I was working 4 jobs, I didn't think in my head, oh my God, I'm going to have to work 4 jobs the rest of my life. No, because you know what? That was 1991. And by the time 1995 came, I had saved enough money by working 4 jobs that I was able to buy my first health club.
Your first home
My first health club.
or your health club? Wow.
Impressive.
So being dead ass broke, working 4 jobs and 2 kids, in a little under 4 years, I was able to save enough money to buy my very first health club. Now, do you think that would have been possible if all I did was work that one job where I sold cars?
No.
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 But in my brain, I said, you know what? I am not going to be a broke mom. I'm not going to be sitting here wondering how I'm going to feed my kids. I have goals, I have dreams, and I'm going to make them happen. But it's not going to happen with just working that one job. I'm going to have to not see my kids as much as I want to see them, but I know this isn't permanent. And I need to do what I got to do to be able to save the money to make my dreams come true. So by sacrificing a couple years, I was able to save enough money to buy my first health club. Now, during that time, I also made enough money to buy my first house. But a disaster happened, which was going to force me to have to sell or to close my health club. So you know what I did? I turned around and I sold that house and I moved into the back of my health club for 1 year to keep my health club open. So you see where the sacrifice was again? I wasn't willing to shut my health club down because of a disaster. So I, in turn, sacrificed by selling my home, taking that money, putting it back into my health club. And then I lived in the back of my health club with my 2 kids for a year to keep that health club open, to keep my goal alive and to keep my dream alive. And a year after I did that, I bought my house again. And 2 years later, a year later, I opened a second health club and then a third health club. And before you know it, I had 5 health clubs. And in 5 years' time, I had someone come and offer me a hellacious amount of money, and I was able to sell my health club chain and become a millionaire.
Awesome.
It took a lot of sacrifice to get there, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
And so what I'm trying to get the point to you guys, the point I'm trying to get across is, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I want to be a millionaire, or oh, I want that big house, or oh, I want that. But nothing happens overnight. Everything that I've accomplished in my life has taken time, and it's taken my dedication and my perseverance and me never losing sight of that goal that I wanted. And sometimes,
Theresa,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Not that it's important or anything, but how old were you when this transitioning was happening?
With the health clubs, you mean?
From the point that you got divorced to the point that you sold the clubs and became a millionaire?
Okay, so I got divorced at the age of 29, and of course, you know, had my 2 kids and everything. By the time I sold my health clubs and became a millionaire, I was turning 40.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, I got divorced at 29, and by the time I was roughly about 34, I had saved enough money to buy my first health club. But it wasn't by working one job. It was working multiple jobs to be able to save up enough money. And plus I was able to go to my bank and get an SBA loan, which helped also, you know, but you have to make bank payments. But I'm just saying, when you want to buy anything in life, you have to have money to put down. You have to have a down payment. I don't care if it's a car, a house, a business, whatever. But I'm just saying, you know, a lot of people want things and they want it now. Well, I don't know anywhere where you can like snap your fingers and get it now. Like, it takes time. It always takes time. But it also takes dedication and hard work and perseverance and knowing and never losing sight of that goal, because that's what, you know, all those days and nights that sometimes I wouldn't get to see my kids, I knew in the long run what the payoff was going to be.
Yeah.
So even though I missed seeing my kids and everything, I knew it was only temporary. I knew in the long run it was going to be worth it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
100%.
It's like to me, the word success, I break it down like this. If you have a pen and paper, write it down. So success starts with an S, right? So success means set your goal.
Uh-huh.
The U, the letter U, understand you're going to have obstacles. Understand the obstacles. C stands for create a positive mental picture. The other C, clear your mind of self-doubt. 3/4 of the reason most people fail at accomplishing things is they don't believe in themselves.
That's a big one.
That's huge. They're so full of self-doubt. I always tell people, if you would just get out of your own way, you would be successful. Most of the time, the reason we're not successful is because we get in our own way. We're scared.
Yeah.
We're scared of the unknown. Well, what if? What if? What if what? At least you tried. So you failed. Okay. How many times in life have I failed at things? And you know what? I never let it stop me. If I failed, I'm like, okay, I failed at that, but let's go try this. Boom. I'm like, failure at least means you're trying.
Yeah. I always say, do you rather try and fail or stay where you're at?
Exactly.
Exactly.
If you hate where you're at so much, then you have to be willing to do something.
Right. Okay. E, the letter E, embrace the challenge.
Embrace the challenge.
Embrace the challenge. You know it's going to be a challenge. Embrace it and run with it and enjoy it. It's going to be scary. It's going to be hard. But you know what? If it was easy, everybody would be salty, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of like being skinny. If it was easy, everybody would be skinny, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's nothing in life that's worthwhile is easy. Nothing.
Yep.
S, stay on track. And the other S, show the world you can do it.
That's my favorite one.
And you know what? Every time I've had someone in my life tell me I can't do something, I love hearing them tell me that. I'm like, really? Okay.
Don't you love to prove them wrong?
I love proving people.
Same here.
I love proving. I just love it. And you know what? That ex-husband that kind of left me in the gutter for dirt. What do you think he was saying when I sold my health club chain and became a millionaire?
How do you like me now?
Exactly.
Totally. Best revenge.
Exactly.
Glow up.
I'm glad you sold that health club chain because you're here today to give us some advice on how to get to where we want to be in life. And I think that's really cool that you persevered and believed in yourself, and it gives me inspiration to do the same for me.
But
Extremely inspiring.
yeah, and guys, it's not even just my health club. It was like, when I wanted to become a bodybuilder and win titles, I did that. When I wanted to become Mrs. Texas in a beauty pageant, I did that. When I wanted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro to raise money for charities, I did that. I have never let anybody or anything stand in my way. When I get an idea and I want to do it, I do it. Just like, okay, when I became a YouTuber, right? Some people are like, oh, don't you think you're a little old to be a YouTuber? I'm like, no, I want to do it. I'm going to do it.
Actually, when I see older people do new things, motivates me. It's like there's no age. You can always start. It's never too late,
No. I've always felt like I'm a late bloomer in life. And so, for me to be a YouTuber and an influencer on Instagram in my 50s, I'm like, hell, why not? I mean, like, what the hell? And next week I start filming for a TV show. So I'm just like, you know what? When people want to say things about my age, I kind of laugh at them, and I'm like, you know, there's people like Joan Rivers. I mean, how many of you remember Joan Rivers?
Yeah.
She didn't even start to become famous till she was in her 50s.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that's part of the charm, because YouTube is so saturated with young people.
Yes.
It's very refreshing to see different perspectives, and extremely exciting to see successful people open up, you know, not just people that are starting or beauty gurus. And so it's super exciting.
Right.
Because
And-
you have a message. I feel like I also watch when you do like Motivational Monday, and yes, so I love the message you give to people every time you film. Yes.
Well, and you know what? You can go all over YouTube. You can go over and you can see drama and negativity all day long. And I just don't believe in it. I think the world needs more positivity, and especially during times like what we're going through right now. You know, we all need to uplift each other and support each other as much as we can, because there's so much bad crap going on right now. It's just,
Speaking of uplifting, when I sent you the message yesterday on your Instagram, that was so amazing that you got back to me, and with the smiles and stuff like that. And I sent a lot of icons messages and stuff like that, and they never acknowledged me, but you treat me like a human, so I thought that was really cool. So I was like, oh, I got to get in this class. Like, that was amazing.
I've always said that. I mean, sometimes I'll be up till 1, 2 in the morning trying to respond to people, because I feel like everyone deserves a response. And sometimes a few slide through the cracks and I miss them, but I find enjoyment in responding to people. I really do. But I also want to get to this point, guys. I always feel like you need to have more than one stream of income.
Yeah.
I don't believe in putting all your eggs in one basket. I believe everyone needs to have at least 2 or 3 streams of income. I personally have about 7 streams of income. But you know, not everybody's going to have that many streams, but I truly believe you should have more than one. And that's whether it's a second job or whether you do something online. I mean, like, you know, the one thing, and I try to tell people this all the time. People ask me all the time, you know, should they use social media for their business? And I'm like, when people mention that they don't use social media for their business, I kindly like to educate them, telling them, you know, you're missing out. This is a new economy. You have to use social media. Social media, especially Instagram, has become the go-to marketplace for people to find the newest brands, products, and services that they're going to spend money on. More than 90% of the users follow business accounts, and 62% of people say they have become more interested in a brand or product after seeing it in Instagram stories. So when people don't understand the power of social media, there's a problem. I mean, if you're a business owner or if you work for a company, you need to be telling your boss, or you need to be telling yourself, you need to be using social media. It's out there, it's free. It's free. If people like Kylie Jenner can create a multi-billion-dollar business, makeup brand, just off of Instagram,
Yeah.
Hello. Back in my day when I had health clubs, I had to spend hard-earned cash for TV commercials, radio commercials. You know, I mean, I had to spend money to advertise. Now I don't have to spend a dime to advertise. I can do it all on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. So if you are in a business, or if you're into making money, you can do it. Use social media. It is at your fingertips. It's free. If you're not using social media to help you grow and help you make money, I mean, you can become an Amazon affiliate. You know, people are like all the time going, oh, I'm unemployed right now, or I need a second job, or I need a third job. Go become affiliates. You get paid a lot of money to become an affiliate. Go to Amazon, sign up to become an Amazon affiliate. Every time you buy something off Amazon, I don't care if it's a battery charger. Guess what? You go and promote it somewhere and use your affiliate code. Every time somebody goes and buys that charger, you get paid. It's that easy. It's that easy.
Definitely gonna look into that. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, me too. Definitely.
No, I'm like, there's so many affiliate programs out there that pay you money. There's so much money to be made off of social media. It's crazy, guys, crazy. Which one do we have here?
How do you, I know you mentioned that you didn't care that the people mentioned your age. You know, obviously I don't have that age problem, but like, I don't know how you feel about exposing yourself and, you know, on social media. Like, do you feel that that ever affects you personally? Okay.
You know, I learned a long time ago, back when I was an aerobics instructor and I was still married, and I would have women come to my classes, and my classes were always they were packed. There was waiting lists to get into them. I was always the most sought after instructor. And yet I was always having a couple different women. And my boss at that time gave me some really good advice. And he said, I need you to pay attention to the other 99% of the people that are in the class, and not that 2% that keeps hating on you, because you need to keep the other 99% happy. But he said, you know what? You're never gonna make everyone happy. There's gonna be a personality conflict, something, but you could stand on your head, blow snot out your nose, cross your eyes, and blow bubbles, and these people are never gonna like you. So quit trying to make, so I learned a long time ago not to care if people like me or not. Like, you know, we all want people to like us, but there comes a point where you just have to say, whether you like me or not, I'm still gonna do me. I'm still gonna do what I wanna do, whether you like me or not. Because as long as I'm not breaking the law, and as long as I'm not doing something wrong, then I'm gonna do what I wanna do. And whether you like me or not, it's not gonna change anything.
And you look amazing, so why not show it? I feel like.
Well, thank you. So yeah, so I learned that a long time ago, that you have to get thick-skinned. Yeah, there has to come a point in your life where you get thick-skinned and you just don't care what people think. I mean, like, we all want people to like us, but if you're not paying my bills,
That's what I always say.
That one. That one.
hey, you start paying my bills, then I'm going to worry about it.
Totally.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you grow your social media account?
How did what?
How did you grow your social media?
Just like everything else I've done in my life, slow and persevered. Like, you know, it was not gonna, you know, you can be one of these people that goes out and pays these stupid companies to put all these fake followers on your account and do all this. But in the long run, when you're a brand like I am, I'm gonna have product to sell, right? I've got pillows, I've got candles, I'm coming out with a cosmetics line, I've got books. If all I do is have a bunch of fake followers, who's gonna buy my products? Fake followers aren't gonna buy my products, right? So I said, I don't need to be one of these people that grows my account overnight and it looks good. I need to have followers that are real followers that like me, that are gonna buy my products. And so whether you're a business or not, if you have something to offer, you need real followers that are gonna follow you and like you for who you are, so that eventually when you're trying to sell something or hold classes or do whatever you're gonna do, people are gonna pay for it. And fake followers don't do that. So whether it was my YouTube channel or whether it was Instagram or whatever, I've worked at it, I've worked at it, I've worked at it. Like I have my big plaque over here. I don't know if you can see it's the YouTube plaque up there.
Yeah.
You know, it took me almost 2 years to grow to 100,000 subscribers. You know, did I want to give up? No, because it was a goal. Did I get frustrated at times because I wasn't growing fast enough? Sure. But like I said, with anything, if it's worthwhile, it's going to take some time.
Do you have
Do you
any?
recommend, oh, sorry.
No, sorry.
Do you recommend posting more every day or quality content?
Quality.
Quality, okay.
For me, it's quality. I've always been about Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of thing, because I also like balance in my life. I love to work. I hit the ground running at 7 a.m. I don't go to bed till usually midnight, 1 in the morning. And I'm busy that whole time doing things, making money, whatever. But so I have to have time for friends. I have to have time for my husband. I have to have time for my charity work. I have to have time for other things. And so as much as I like to work on social media, I also know that other things in my life need time and need my attention too. So that's why I've really carved out my Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of thing. So I know I post on Instagram on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I know I used to upload to YouTube Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Now it's just Mondays and Fridays because I'm going to be filming for a TV show. So I have to have time for that. I'm working on a cosmetics line. So, I had to take one of my days away from YouTube so that I could have some time for these other things that need my attention right now.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you keep your energy up? I know you do a lot of things. How many hours of sleep do you get? Do you drink coffee?
I sleep about 7 hours a night, 7 to 8. Usually I'm asleep for sure by 1, sometimes by midnight, and I get up at 7 in the morning. So okay. I try to get my good 7 or 8 hours of sleep. I do drink 2 cups of coffee in the morning just because I love my coffee, and that's kind of goes with my prayer time. I'm a very high energy person. That's the one thing that my husband loved about me when he met me is I just am full of energy. Like he likes to take a nap every afternoon and I'm like, who's got time for a nap? Stuff to do.
I'm a teen husband. I like naps.
Yeah, me too.
I try to take a nap and all I do is I lay there and think about everything I need to be doing. I'm like, no, I've got so much time on this earth. I got to get stuff done.
You know what I've heard? That if you do what you love, you just get excited and you get the energy from it.
That's part of the problem. I start my morning off with coffee and prayer, and then I go do my workout. I never miss a workout because by doing my workout, it gives me more energy. I'm set for the day. Like I feel like, woohoo,
So true.
So that's my me time. That's my time to take care of myself because remember, your health is your wealth, right? And
absolutely,
especially during this pandemic crap, more than ever, we know that our health is our wealth. And so, taking care of myself is first thing on my list. So it's drink my coffee, do my prayer time, go get my workout in, and then I start my day. And that's pretty, when you love what you do, you don't really feel like you're ever really working.
Yeah.
Do you have like a healthy diet that you eat like all the time, like something that you stick to that makes you feel good and gives you energy, or just do you like kind of?
I eat a very clean diet. I don't eat breakfast. Like I said, I have my 2 cups of coffee in the morning. I do intermittent fasting. So basically my 2 cups of coffee in the morning, and then I drink a bottle of drinkable ketones. And then I don't have my first meal till noon, and it's always a salad with chicken breast on it. And then for dinner, I normally have some kind of a fish and steamed asparagus or steamed broccoli.
So you do the keto diet, basically. Okay.
I call it just a good, healthy diet.
Right.
Because sometimes I'll have
low carbs.
I eat very little carbs.
Yeah, okay.
The carbs that I do eat are vegetables.
Yeah.
But I don't eat anything white. I do have my little glass of wine or a little vodka sometimes at night with my husband. Yeah.
I have a question. Yeah. Do you recommend like branding? Like, you mentioned social media. Should we have that in mind when we think about social media?
What do you mean? Like as a business or?
Right. So like you have your business in mind, right? Initially, maybe you're just like building a platform so people can get to know you with the intention of later on, using it for business. So should we evolve into a brand like any other huge corporation, like McDonald's is known for the arches, or Wendy's is known for the girl or I know like some YouTubers, like they have a brand, and I don't know if that's what helps them launch their success, or does that really
Like a
factor
logo?
in?
Well, I myself am a brand. My name is a brand. If you Google Theresa Roemer, you'll get pages and pages and pages and pages. So my name and my face is a brand. So I
Right.
have, yes, I have a logo. It's the TR and it says Theresa Roemer.
Okay.
You know, but I don't have the golden arches. I don't have the girl. I don't have whatever. I mean, like my brand is my name and my face. Does that make sense? So I've literally been able to take my name, and I've got a patent on it. I've got it trademarked and everything. But I don't. That's a good question, because I never looked at.
You know, like for example, the Kardashians, just because everybody knows them. They're the KKK, you know, they're the girls. You know, that's the first thing that people, if they don't know anything, they know that.
Well, but
It's
that's
something like that.
but you have to remember, the Kardashians only became famous from TV.
Yeah.
Right.
So they didn't have to work their way up to trying to become a brand. TV did it for them, right?
Right. They had some backing and some support from TV. You know?
Right. So Bravo, or whoever made them famous, whatever. But I'm just saying, they didn't, you know, well, we could all say that Kim started out with a porno tape. But none of us.
No.
I'm just saying,
You're
you know,
self-made.
you know, like me, I'm a self-made brand. The Kardashians
Yes.
are self-made. TV made them famous. TV created their brand for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
And I think that
I'm sorry, Morgan, what?
I was saying I think that people think that it's easy just to pop up and become famous, and they don't understand that self-made is putting in the work. And I think that's what you're trying to get to in this whole topic and this discussion, is being a self-made brand and being a self-made millionaire is the more real way that you're going to get there, realistic way, you know?
Right. So, you know, there was that big argument with Kylie Jenner when they proclaimed that she was a self-made billionaire, right? There was a little argument there, because how is having a TV show self-made, right? I mean, like, you know, they could argue that and go, well, wait a minute, self-made is when you do it all on your own, but you had a team helping
He
you.
was already famous.
Right.
Like you mentioned, like you wore hand-me-downs, you were raised in a farm versus your dad was a lawyer and you were in LA, so not the same.
Already living in Beverly Hills.
Out of the wound.
Well, guys, you know, we need to get this wrapped up, because I've got another coaching call coming up. But so basically, I told you guys that I have like 7 streams of income. So basically, you know, I sell all my products on my website. I'm an author. I'm in oil and gas with my husband. I'm also a real estate agent. I do personal training still. I've done personal training my whole life. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a social media influencer. And so, you know, to go back to the different streams of income, I'm not saying that everybody has to go out there and work 7 jobs, but I always say that there's, besides the one job you have, you should try to think of something else that you can do to help bring in more income, if that's what you wish to do. You know, at what level of wealth do you want to have? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect sense.
Yes.
If you're happy where you're at, then you're happy where you're at. But if you're wanting more, you've got to figure out, is that one job going to get me that more, or do I need to do something else for a while to get me over that hump?
And you said invest in yourself. So pay yourself, put the savings aside. Look, I was taking notes.
You always want to, no matter what income that you have coming in the door, you always want to take a portion of that and stick it aside, just so that you can start. It's like when you were a little kid and you had a piggy bank, you know? Yeah. And then pretty soon you get to take the piggy bank and go get something at the store, you know, because you saved for it. Well, same thing. as an adult. But the problem is, you know, we all like instant gratification. So the minute we get a little extra money in our hands, we're like, ooh, what can we go buy? Woo, you know? And then when times get hard, like many people experienced here in the last few months, they're like, wished I had a savings account.
And if you're starting a business, do you have any quick tips for people who are just starting with a
Quick tip in what?
because like I'm starting a business, well, it's like for teaching languages to people, and for like, or translation, because I do translation from Japanese to French or like Spanish, and we want to create like a business to teach more people, but I don't have any tips for getting started. Just maybe social media, like you said.
Yeah, social media is the key to all of it. And just remember, guys, when you decide to become self-employed, it is probably one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life, because you will put more hours in being self-employed than you ever put in working for someone else. I used to have a sign that hung above my desk that said, why would I want to work for you 8 hours a day when I can work for myself 16 hours a day? And I always tell people, like when I started out with my health clubs, that first health club I got, it was like having a newborn baby, okay? It required my attention 24/7. It was like having this newborn baby that needed all of this attention, all of this attention. And then after about a year, it seemed like that baby turned into like a toddler. So now, like, okay, it doesn't need all of my attention. It just needs, you know, and then pretty soon it became, you know, but I mean, like in the beginning, you know, I didn't take vacations. I didn't go out and party. I mean, I was living, eating, and breathing my own business to try to keep it afloat and be successful.
And it was a learning experience.
I'm sorry?
And it was a learning experience, wasn't it?
Oh, huge. You know, I mean, and I love being self-employed. I love it more than anything. I don't like having to answer to other people. I like having to answer to myself. And when shit goes wrong, I have to answer myself. I don't have to answer to anybody else. But, you know, a lot of people don't like being self-employed because they're just,
They like the security blanket.
because they like that every 2-week paycheck. They like, okay, I'm going to get paid in 2 weeks. Whew. When you're self-employed, sometimes you might not have money come in for a month. And then all of a sudden you might have a month where you make a crap load of money, and then you got to like stick it away because there might be another month where you don't have money coming in, you know? So not everybody's, you know, made to be self-employed either.
So if you were to able to rewind time and they had social media, you would do it like at the beginning of, let's say, for example, your gym opening up and stuff?
Oh my
Wow.
God.
That says a lot.
I look back now and go, oh my God, if I would have had social media back when I had my health clubs in the beginning, oh my God, it would have been so much easier. You don't understand how hard it is to do your own TV commercials, do your own radio commercials, get out there and stick flyers on cars, walk neighborhoods. I mean, like I'm telling you, I mean, I look at social media now and go, oh my God, if I would have had social media at my fingertips back then, I would have been even 10 times more successful than I was. And I was hugely successful, but it was a lot of work back then. And people don't realize how easy social media has made it now, because back then we didn't have it. We barely had internet.
I know. That's why it's hard, because we're transitioning into this new era that we don't even understand it. So like having it seen from your perspective, it's very appreciated.
Yes, yeah. So guys, I hope I've answered all of your questions. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've got to get off because we've got another coaching class that's coming up, because I divided everybody up so the classes weren't so big. Has anybody got any final question or anything?
I just want to say thank you, and I'm going to continue to go to your classes and get some more knowledge from you, because I feel like you're like the knowledge keeper. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're always, you know, I'm going to continue to do the classes on wealth too, but you know, we're going to do some on health, because I think health is so important, and so many people don't know how to eat right and exercise, and take the right supplements and all of that stuff. And a lot of you don't know my history of overcoming a heart issue from being a little kid. So, you know, I'd love to be able to share that story with everybody. We're going to go into relationships. You know, we've all had bad relationships and bad marriages and bad this and bad that. So we're going to go into relationships and what to do and what not to do and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to have all kinds of different fun classes all the time. So
thank you, Theresa. Thank you for your knowledge and sharing that with us.
Welcome. I'd love for you guys to put something out on social media if you had a good experience and everything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So grateful.
So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it gave you a little bit of an insight of what a Zoom class is like. We do keep them to a minimum of 25, sometimes 20, 25. So we'll put the link below where you can click and pay attention. Like, you know, if you are following me on Instagram, I'm always posting on my stories when my next Zoom class is going to be. I try to post it. I don't really post it on YouTube, so you're not really going to see it here that much, but I do post it on Instagram as well as my Facebook page. So pay attention. I try to have the class every single week. I think last week was the first week we didn't have one. I was super busy showing the house and dealing with real estate stuff, so I didn't have one last week. So pay attention to YouTube or to Instagram, and you will know when my classes. We usually have them later on in the week, around a Thursday or a Friday. Somebody did actually say, can you have them on Saturday? So that might be something we consider also. So we will put the link below. Pay attention on Instagram, and check out my website, theresaroemer.com, periodically, and you'll see specific dates that we have listed for the Zoom class. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you on one of my future Zoom classes. They're a lot of fun, and I love having all of this knowledge and being able to share it with you guys. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, make sure you hit that notification bell, and until next time, bye-bye.